Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
Oh man, we're talking about comic books today. This is a comic book review show
We
after
are?
all. That's right. We're going to be talking about books that came out this past week, and we're going to review them and tell you what we thought about them. And then we're going to select the book of the week. What's the standout book? Now, normally, some outfits would be like, we're going to decide what the book of the week is. No, we each get a book of the week. That way.
Yeah, there's no way.
That way, Helen Winhorn and Hellblazer can both jockey for position, and still there will be another book on the book of the week list if both books or either book comes out.
Which they didn't.
Which they did not, so you're good. I'm excited to see what's up. So here we go.
Yeah, what is up?
Before we get into the comics, of course, I want to mention this show is sponsored by you out there. If you watch the show live, you can sponsor today's show by using the Super Chat, ask a question or comment. We'll read it here on the show. If you're catching the show after the fact, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, and turn on your notifications so you know when we're going live, which is typically Monday nights around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to go an extra mile, you could also join the Patreon at patreon.com/ComicPop, where you can check out everything that we make here and maybe get a little bit of behind-the-scenes info and scuttlebutt about the industry, what's going on at ComicPop, or maybe just a couple of early access videos. So check that out as well if you're interested. But before we get into the comics again, I want to mention that we are also going to be talking about news in the comic book world.
We are?
This is only a little bit. It's very tangential.
Let's do it.
But Absolute Batman is coming big time from DC's all-in / absolute line. Gotta tell you how good I feel seeing that bullet logo on that book, man.
Do I like the all-in?
Oh, the all-in logo / lettering. That is the lettering that they used in their promotional materials.
No, I know. I'm just looking at it now. I just noticed the notch out of the eye.
Yes. Now that's an interesting thing you should bring up, because if people have already seen our episode of All Stars, which is myself and Joshua Williamson, creator of The Dark Crisis, we talked on mic about the all-in logo, and I cut it out of the episode because I was a little, I don't know, it felt like Josh was being a little protective / a little bit secretive about that, because I specifically asked about it, and I wanted to ask about that logo in particular when they did the all-in panel at San Diego Comic-Con, also known as a COVID convention. But the question I had was, that all-in font lettering looks very deliberate and specific. And I went further into it, and Josh was very careful about his answers, and he and I are pals, I think it's fair to say. And but we were on the show. It was for the show. And I felt that it was such a suspicious amount of carefulness. I'm just going to leave it out. I'm just going to cut that out. You know, I know to be a little bit more heavy-handed with the editing tool ever since one of my more recent conversations with another creator of a similar level of Pantheon. But I'm suspicious about this all-in logo, because to me, looks like Flash lettering. Looks like a Flash title.
I would not have gotten that from that.
And maybe it's only because I had recently been reading a 90s Flash book that was Terminal Velocity, but that all-in lettering, it does look specific. It looks like a book's title font used for this. I don't know.
Yes, I don't know. There's like some deliberate stuff happening there. I don't know if the notch out of the eye is like the same size as like the serif sort of like action wing, whatever you want to call it, on the side of the A. Maybe that's what we're looking at there, or the fact that it's like the N is the only letter that has that completed look of like having like an additional layer. The A kind of has it, but not really. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's gonna grow on me.
I know.
But regardless, yay bullet logo. And
yay
I
logo.
really like that like slim rectangle behind it.
Yes.
It's just
well, it's a tried and true methodology. That's what they used to do. That's what they're doing now. Although they did used to be left justified. Now the whole shebang's on the right. I like it. I like it a lot. I like how it looks.
It's not
like the balance.
Justified.
Well, it used to be on the left, and now it's on the right.
That's not justified.
In any case, it looks good. But that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is that people are pissed about Absolute Batman's logo because DC had released like a kind of official art book, or not art book, but rather like log line. Like, this is what the logos are for Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman.
Okay.
And they're gorgeous. You know, I mean, the Wonder Woman one is interesting. It's a little chunky, kind of like Batman's, but the one that everyone's kind of talking about, and that's when I say everyone, I mean vocal minorities on the social medias, is the Batman one. And in particular, you know, even our own small group of people on our small fandom took note, and on our subreddit, somebody posted the origin there was a little fan edit of Batman Year One where they were like the origin of Absolute Batman. Instead of a bat, it's a brick just going through the window. And we all had a good chuckle at that observation.
Okay.
But moreover, people are upset. I mean, I saw it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Shorts, everywhere. People are upset because the logo, they're calling it uninspired, they're calling it lazy, they're calling it stupid, they're calling it boring. They're saying that it's mostly their issue is that there's that it is a rectangle with some notches in it, and
Sure.
it reflects the logo that's on his chest. I could pull up the official logo, but you get the idea from looking at his chest. It's a brick with some spikes on it. It is a wholly stylized version of the Bat logo.
So, like I have no strong feelings about this
No.
either way. And maybe that's actually its greatest crime.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really have a reaction to the logo at this point, but I can understand maybe some people rallying against this from the perspective of I've heard a lot of people saying that like minimalism has gone too far.
Yes.
And that always happens. Like there's
Of course.
always like,
There's always swings
there's
in one way or
swings,
the
there's
other way.
waxing, there's waning, the whole thing, right? Like the next, every like period of, art history has been a reaction to the previous period of art
Yes.
history, right? So it's like, you keep hearing like trends are coming that maximalism is returning.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And so like I could understand maybe people looking at these and being like in their brain not recognizing the fact that it's compounded. It's just like this compounded history of like too many minimalistic logos in their lifetime, too many minimalistic buildings, just the whole thing. It's just too much minimalism for them. And it could just be at this point that like this is the place where it's just like, okay, like
yeah.
This is like where I draw the line in the sand. And it could just be as simple as that, because that is what this is. This is a hyper minimalized iteration of a bat.
Yeah.
Were you to take the color out of this and the DC logo and just show it to a person, would they
get
know,
Batman?
Would they
out of
get
it?
Bat? Would they know Bat? I
think
don't.
yes.
I don't know.
I think they
I
would.
think Wonder Woman, you take the color out of it and the DC logo, you're getting the W
Yeah,
from it. But
you're
it
either getting
depends.
Weezer or Wonder Woman. Either way, unfortunately.
Or West Virginia.
Yes.
But that'd be an interesting like experiment to do, but you have to find someone who A hasn't seen this yet and B has any knowledge of Batman.
Or would be willing to actually engage in a genuine and earnest discussion about it.
Sure.
Incidentally, I have also seen the opposite of that, where people because the Superman logo is similarly minimalist, with a little bit of flourish. I noticed that it's funny, that little bottom of the S.
Low-key drive me crazy. I hate it.
You don't like it. I think that little
it.
extra flourish sets it apart.
Sure. It looks like you messed up and you didn't pull your
I don't
pixels
think it
over.
looks like it messed up.
I know,
but I understand your concern.
That is my subjective opinion on this. That's how my brain looks at that. I'm like, oh, you messed up.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it's not quite I don't know.
Uh-huh,
I don't like it.
I liked it.
bothers me.
That's something that I was immediately drawn to, but I was like, I kind of dig it. But my point
can't
being,
stop looking at that specific part of it. Everything else above it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
yeah, because it's the Superman logo. I mean, like there's only a few minor alterations to but it's a little tail. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, it's just Superman's known for his little tail.
Maybe Superman has a tail. He's an alien after all.
That's
But my point is, the internet was kind of like, when you saw some of the like scuttlebutt online, people were like, the Bat logo, lazy and stupid. The Superman logo, I kind of dig. And I'm like, they're both equally minimal.
Yeah, but
in their expression.
It's minimal that, we've like dropped like an outline, we've dropped, any sort of depth to it, but it's still the same thing.
It is Superman's logo.
It's not like they got rid of the diamond shape or like the S is almost unrecognizable.
Or the color scheme. It's just Superman's
it
logo.
really comes down to the fact that of the shape for the Batman logo has been minimalized to a point that I think people are saying it's too far.
It's too far.
Regardless of this being a completely different Batman, the fact that it turns into an axe, the fact that, we have seen the big chunky Bat logo before.
Yeah, y'all liked it in 86 when it was the Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
And even then, I mean, by the way, not as stylized as this.
It's not.
The other one was a expression, an exaggeration of the established Batman logo. This is taking it that much further, taking it decades further.
Super minimalized Bat.
I get being upset, or not upset, because I can't imagine people being upset, but I get having criticisms.
Yeah.
Certainly when I first looked at it, I was like, kind of not silly, but I'm like, I don't, not that I didn't care, but it's another universe. Who could possibly get up in arms about an ultimate version of Batman's logo being like this?
And I'm not playing devil's advocate, but I am. I'm definitely devil's advocate.
There's certainly people in the chat doing that, but like
I'm going to devil's advocate you on this one.
Please, yeah.
That again, like because I don't know for a fact. People could just be some people just want to be mad. Like some people just want to be mad about something, especially something that doesn't really matter in their lives. Like it's just easy to be mad about that. I totally get that. Yeah. It's a coping mechanism. Cool.
Yeah.
It could be a compounded thing where it's just there's so much minimalism happening in your everyday life.
And now it's in this place. I come to here to escape from it. You know, every fast food restaurant is just a sweeping angle with no logo on it.
You don't even recognize it, and then when this happens, it's like in your face.
Yeah,
you're like,
it's the straw that breaks the camel's back as far as like this expression movement of art in logo design.
It's also funny because you like paired this like super like modern for right now because it is so minimalistic logo with the return of the bullet logo.
I know, which is the exact opposite of it.
So I think it could be a lot of things for people that maybe they really can't put together that's what's happening. Some people just are not going to like it because again, art is subjective, logos are subjective. It's all subjective to some degree. But there could be these other elements where it's just all compounding up to this point, and then it's like here's this thing where it's like it doesn't like to some people they're gonna be like this doesn't look like a bat. I don't see a bat.
I understand that concern. I understand that criticism.
So I don't know.
But it was funny because people took it to Threads, of course, because that's where James Gunn hangs out, and they were like, "What are you gonna do about this?"
It's like nothing. What does this have to do with anything?
It's funny because Gunn's response was, "I have nothing to do with the comics, man. Like I interpreted that as him not necessarily because I saw some concern where he was like kind of passing the buck, where he's like, "Yo, that's the comics. Whatever they do over there, I don't know." But I think that was more him being like, they are adults and they can handle their own thing, and you know, we don't run to Papa Gunn and beg him to make this different for another universe that will have a limited run. Like, I'm not saying that Absolute Batman won't have legs. I'm not saying that this whole Absolute line isn't going to work, but you know, history being the judge, I don't see Absolute anything reaching 150 issues. Not saying that that's necessarily it's not going to be around for the equivalent of 150 issues, but like it's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
It's such a inconsequential thing for another universe to have this, especially when DC went out of their way in multiple places, whether that was homespun videos they posted on their own YouTube channels, whether that's social media postings, in-person panel, events, etc., to explain that not only is this in another universe, but they're going to keep the old universe. That like there's not going to be any conflict between these two realities, and as a result, like, or at least let's say there isn't going to be any conflict in terms of publishing initiatives. So like Batman's logo is going to be Batman's logo in the Prime universe, and Absolute Batman, I think it should be as far as it can, not necessarily take it to the furthest extreme, but certainly that's where it should go. Like if you're going to have a comparable alternate or a mirror, cracked mirror reflection of that universe, go different. It would be frustrating and weird if it was too close. I was thinking about, I was just looking at the on our set, we have the Nightfall logo on our set for Batman from the 90s, the Jean Paul Valley logo, and has a similar motif in terms of minimalism is concerned. And I don't remember anybody about 30 years ago complaining endlessly about this. And it's like, yeah, does it say Bat? Yeah. Does it look like a Batman thing? Yeah, but it's also starkly different. Yeah. It is so different from the original one. I like it, but I wouldn't like it for main Batman. Yeah. But good thing it isn't and never was. So it's not a big deal.
It looks dangerous.
It does. It looks sharp. And that's exactly to whom it would belong.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway.
Additionally, it's really funny too that like Batman, as we have pointed out, like as a joke, but also it's true. Like Batman's character at this point is so all about branding. So it is weird that people want that logo to like be strong because it's going to be on everything. It's not. This is not as rich a Batman for sure.
No, he's only got like one. He has 0 stories right now.
Exactly. Oh man, he also has no money.
Oh yeah, he's back. No, Zdarsky.
No, I meant this Batman.
Oh yeah, this Batman is poor. Yeah, that's the pitch, is that this is a broke Batman.
Yeah. Also, I appreciated in the chat someone called me the devil's avocado.
Before we continue, I wanted to share this. We got a little gift in the mail, so I'll go grab it.
I never like when there's suddenly a gift in the mail Like, oh, it's big. Okay, never mind. This is not for me then. This is not some like random horrible character I hate showing up in some way, or at least it better not be. What?
What Tiffany is holding is the IDW published Batman Year One Artist Edition from David Mazzucchelli. This book just arrived today, and I wanted to show it because it's amazing. I believe it retails for $300. I'm not sure, but it is also just worth every penny. Look at this book. It's huge, and according to Scott Dunbier, who's spearheaded this little project for DC, it's also the book that you were never meant to see, because Mazzucchelli never made this book to be in black and white, and yet here it stands. Not necessarily in black and white, but in the colors of the original pages. One quick observation that I have to point out every time I see these things: how unprecious are these creators with their books and their art? Because I always see coffee stains. There's always a coffee stain on one of these amazing priceless pieces of art.
It happens. All right?
Yeah, but it happens all the time.
Stains, it's not even always coffee. Like, you're working with ink or you're working with paint and you put your hand in it, you don't know.
I understand. I'm just saying, sometimes you're making art.
Doing the late hours. They're just IVing
they have to
right into their body.
Yeah, no, it's true. But anyway, this thing is amazing. If you ever get a chance to look at it, folks, you definitely should. And if you wanted to pick it up, you could. Of course, it's available online. Yeah. Look at they also have, they make sure that they do these I don't remember what the hell they call it, but these the vellum pages that allow you to see the different processes of making the book. Just a gorgeous edition.
Oh, it smells good.
I know. I was taken in by its
wow. Hey!
Yay, Holly stabbing Batman.
And then a hooker stabbed him. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh wow, thumbnail pages?
Oh yeah. No.
Pencils?
This was heavily worked on by.
Oh, look at him testing out his lines. Look at him testing them out.
Yeah.
Clearing out his nib.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, great stuff.
Oh
Gorgeous
God,
book.
Is like so like high res.
Yeah.
This looks like oh my God. Oh,
right, looks like it's there.
Right out. Oh wow. Head sketches.
Yep. Working out the character designs. Beautiful forward. Yeah. Just a great collection.
Oh
amazing.
My God.
Yeah. The Batman Year One Artist
Chip
Edition.
Designed this?
Yes, he did.
Oh.
Yes, he did.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Right? So I want to thank our friends over at IDW for hooking us up with a copy of this. And if you do want it, you should check it out. I don't have a link or anything, but if you just Google Batman Year One Artist Edition IDW, you'll find it.
Oh my God.
And pick it up. I just wanted it to be
God.
like known how cool this is and how gorgeous it is and what a fun concept it is. I've never even seen this image before. This, you can see like the paper, you can see the grain of the paper and the ink and like where the there's certain heaviness and gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous.
You just do the show by myself, right? Or
right?
By yourself.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's sold out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, I think if I were them, I'd probably print up some more. Make this available.
Well, here's the other thing too. IDW does a lot of has done a lot
of artist editions.
Yeah, and you never know where they're gonna crop up, and you should check out what might be available in your online or local comic book stores, or see if they have any inventory of any of the other ones.
Yes.
Because really what it is they're incredible quality.
Yes.
So definitely take a look at some of the other things they have, because there might be another artist that you're a big fan of or another book you're a big fan of.
That's very true.
So it's totally worth checking out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to project because I realize I'm so far away from my mic.
It's true.
I'm projecting. Oh, my gosh. Oh!
Yeah. It's beautiful. The covers are here, too. It's awesome. So, yeah. Pick this up if you can. If not, at least, give it a shout.
Wow.
So cool.
This is how an assassin with distractivity.
Oh, look at this big book.
Oh, okay.
Hooah!
Oh no.
So yeah, thank you very much to our friends over there for hooking us up, and definitely check this out if you can. It's definitely worth it. And now let's talk about some comic books that came out this past week. I'm excited to talk about them. So really quick, I read Nightwing 117, Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo, winding down the Taylor run on Nightwing. Nightwing gets over his fears, hooks up with Batman, and Batman reveals how much fun he had being Nightwing while while Nightwing was away. Good book, great stuff, terrific art. Definitely, belongs in the annals of everyone's delight in this series. Everyone, if you like this book, you're gonna love it. It's just it continues to be fun, and it'll be sad when Taylor leaves. What about you, Tiffany? What'd you read?
Here, hang on. This one's not from this week. It was from like a week or so.
Yes.
But I finally cracked open my Werewolf by Night Red Band edition.
Oh no, Awoo.
That happens.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's an Aru in here.
He's a werewolf. He better.
Aru. You have to. You have to Aru when you're a werewolf. See, here we go.
All right.
Aru. Anyway, back to the cover.
Yep.
Back to the good part. No. This is written by Jason Liu with art by Sergio Davila.
Mm-hmm.
At first I was kind of like, to some of the dialogue in this. But then overall, like I was like, I'm enjoying the story. It's silly. It's a silly little story about a werewolf man. I mean, what are you gonna do? I
don't know.
I don't know. Like, else is in this, and Jack Russell is, it has like ties to previous books, which, by the way, they make sure to give you annotations. If you'd like to pick those up, you can feel free to do that.
Very helpful.
It mentions, Blood Hunt in here for a hot second, right? And the idea is that like Jack Russell is trying to like go find a little like spot of land of his own in Colorado, and try to just, I think it's in Colorado. Try to just make. It is. Just be part of a community, be pretty normal, and is doing an okay job until like he seems to have lost control of the werewolf side of him, and what are they going to do about that? And Elsa's going to come along for the ride, and we'll go from there. And I'm kind of like, okay. Oh, also the Hood.
Oh no,
is here, and they're going to try to make their own version of the Darkhold.
Okay, that sounds fun.
So it's good stuff. Werewolf by Night has ties to Darkhold, and so why not, right?
Yeah,
fun stuff. And it definitely, I don't know how many issues it is, but like it's not just the one issue. It's going to be more than one issue. And I guess I'm glad I got the Red Band edition.
Yeah,
I assume there's like definitely some much more grotesque scenes.
Yes, very
for
gnarly.
Sure. And I'm like, yeah, you're doing a werewolf book. Probably
it should be. It ought to be. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind some more, Jack Russell poetry. He writes poetry.
Okay.
He's doing a little bit of
about wearing flannel and
no. But yeah.
Eating babies.
Yeah. What? No.
What werewolves do.
Okay. That's like eating babies is not my go-to like factoid.
That was the second thing I went to.
I know. I like that. I don't. But yeah, I thought this was a fun book. Like I said, the writing maybe wasn't my favorite in some spots, but overall, I want to support books like this because I want more books that are like this.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's so egregious that I'm like, oh, this should never come into being. It's just there are a couple of lines here or there where I was like, ooh, no.
Yeah.
So overall, looking forward to the next issue. Elsa's here now, so that's always fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on. Ta-da. There she is.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to make an appeal really quick. The Zdarsky Comic News, the second edition of this this pamphlet / magazine / newsletter came out just apparently this past week. I went to 2 different comic book stores, didn't see it anywhere near there, and I wanted to say I want to read this. So either like get your local comic book stores to order this thing. I think you do, which is outrageous.
You got to follow your own advice.
I know.
Sir.
Well, I don't work there. I can't do it.
You can pre-order the book.
I could ask, but like most of the comic book retailers I know who I asked about were like, I don't know what that is. So
Maybe
Chip's
it's all
ever
a
around.
joke. Maybe there's no book.
There is no book.
It's just like he knows.
I've
somebody
seen
at
pages from
previous-
it that people posted online. I'm like, listen, Chip, send me a PDF or something, man. I got to read this thing. But anyway, I read Wonder Woman number 12 from Tom King and Tony S. Daniel. This continues to be an Absolute Power tie-in, which is a real shame. Wonder Woman and Diana and Damian team up to interrogate Captain Boomerang to find out where a base is. The entire book is that. Which, if you're interested in seeing the dynamic between Diana and Damian, maybe might enjoy this. If you think that if you have an issue with fill-in issues or filler issues, this is it. The backup by Belen Ortega is great. Damian and John and Trinity go, or what? Is her name Trinity? God, I'm sorry. Lizzie go into space to battle the Infinite Mongol, and they're trapped on a spaceship for like 72 days, and watch them bicker, and it's cute. It's fun. It's a good book. It's a great backup. People love those stories, and I think that that's going to be like the thing that people take away from that series from the
because
future.
it's the closest thing to Super Sons that they can get anymore.
Yeah, that's right. But I will say that obviously, I think Daniel does a nice job with the art in this story. It's actually is actually quite good compared to what I've seen Daniel do in the past. I think he's a great artist, but I think this is a standout issue. A lot of really fun sequences and a lot of Captain Boomerang hanging upside down. But
excellent. Good
yeah,
stuff.
but Sampere, the art from Sampere on the normal book has been the best of his career. So I think like the book will be remembered for how stunning the visuals have been.
Okay.
But that backup is always going to take it away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's fine. I recommend it enough. You read Phoenix.
I did. I read Phoenix number 2, written by Stephanie Phillips with art by Miracola.
Yeah.
And like it was. I just don't know if I think the problem is just that I don't know if I care about Phoenix.
Right.
Like I liked the Jean Grey book because it's about Jean Grey, and not that this isn't about Jean Grey. Jean Grey is
Jean
also
is Phoenix
here, but this is very Phoenix cosmic focused, and it has shades of like Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, but not as heavy necessarily. So like you might enjoy this if you liked that, or maybe if you felt like it was a little too heavy at times. This might be something that maybe that's more what you want.
Yeah.
But in this issue, Jean's like Phoenix is like good to go at like endless energy and doesn't need to eat or sleep or anything like that, and Jean's like, I'm tired. Like,
right. I'm a person.
She tries to get a break, and like, the alarm goes off. There's a ship nearby, needs help. There's like one person in there, so she goes to save them, and it's Corsair.
Oh, her father-in-law?
Yep. And so she helps him, and like
I only asked that because I'm like, are they still married?
He called her his daughter-in-law.
Okay.
So he's like, it's my favorite daughter. Yeah, my favorite daughter-in-law.
Yep.
And he needs help. He's clearly cooking something up, though.
He's always got a scheme going.
Yeah, so when Jean reaches out to Cyclops to catch him up on it, he's like, don't forget.
My dad's a douche.
Yeah. Also in this, Scott is drawn more like an adult.
Oh, okay.
When they're speaking.
They must have forgotten.
Or
the note was
well, because like how could little boy Scott be married to Jean like Grey / Phoenix like looking like this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He just has a little bit of an air of a bit older for sure. But yeah, so clearly Corsair is like utilizing Phoenix to get what he wants,
of course.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're not wild about this series.
For right now, for sure. It feels like one of those where maybe I'll check in. I think there's only 2 more issues though.
Oh.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll finish it out. It's like no harm, no foul, but it's not hitting me the same way that like the Phoenix series hit me.
Well, the Jean Grey book.
The Jean Grey, jeez.
Yeah.
The Jean Grey book hit me, which was like that would really. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
We're just watching Jean face herself. This feels like right now more like she's along for the ride.
Which may be what the point of the book is.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, could be.
Yeah. I read Predator versus Black Panther #1, of course, from Benjamin Percy, with art by numerous creators, including Lee Ferguson, Chris Allen, Sean Damian Hill, and I believe that's the entire creative force behind this single issue. So yeah, I mean, if you like Predator crossovers, you're probably gonna pick this up. That's why I did. this was interesting because obviously, we've had Ben Percy on the show. When we talked about his Wolverine crossover with the Predator, he was very sure to be like, listen, it's in its own, like, it could be its own story, but it also could easily be tied into continuity. I wrote it to be part of continuity. This one, you'd assume, because Benjamin Percy's also writing this one, that like this would tie in with the Wolverine book, not necessarily even in story, but rather that it's part of the same universe. This one's very much its own thing. This is very movie inspired when it comes to all the images and characters that you'd expect from Black Panther, Okoye, Shuri, VP himself, etc. But the concept is solid and fun, and it opens very much with a big old story about the Yautja and how there was a Yautja leader, and he had 2 Yautja sons, and the 2 Yautja boys. One was a strong Yautja warrior, and the other one was a weak Yautja weakling, and he needed like cybernetic enhancements. And the young one, or the weaker one, challenged the older one and lost. They had 2 warring clans, and now he's seeking to win favor / get his honor back by taking the metal that his father wields with his father wields this like special ceremonial spear, which of course is made of vibranium. But yeah, it was a fun story, and it was and it's a fun issue. At some point or another, I was like, yeah, because it opens a lot of Predator stuff, and then it jumps into Black Panther's just some boring old Black Panther stuff, and I'm like, where is the Predator, and how can I cut to it? And then I realized, like, wait, they're doing the thing. He's doing the thing. We're doing a Black Panther story, and then a Predator shows up. Although we opened with like 6 pages of Predator stuff. I have to give it some criticisms, unfortunately. For one thing, not that I necessarily don't care about Black Panther, but I'm like, oh, okay, it's not nearly as exciting as the Wolverine one. Black Panther is obviously a different adversary to the Predator. He doesn't fight the Predator in this one yet, so we're still building to it. But the art is really where I have the most glaring issues. The art is pretty awesome and strong, though every page seems to be crammed. It just seems like a really cluttered book. Like a lot of very crowded panels, a lot of like over details, and then around like the 2/3 mark, the art just changes, and it doesn't change in a radical way, and it's unfortunate actually, because it's kind of a subtle way where I'm like, whoa, where you're just kind of like, oh, it's almost like when you're watching a movie and then like the bit rate changes. And that's what it was like reading this book, where the art was like, okay, I'm along for the ride, I'm enjoying this, and then the art shifts just a little bit for me to go, whoa, and it's a shame. And I don't understand why. This seems to be the motif for the Marvel Predator crossovers, is put out one single issue of a book and have 3 artists try and put it out. This, as a colleague of mine pointed out to me privately, this should be a dream project for everybody involved. I don't understand why it seems like it's work for everybody. I don't understand. It's frustrating. I do love this concept, and I'm here for it, and I will continue to buy it to prove that I want more of it, because I certainly don't want the Predator Marvel crossovers to die with Black Panther. I will also point out, like, thankfully, because of the story itself, I remember seeing this cover for like months, maybe even a year.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at. And like, Predator has this crazy mask, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I couldn't make heads or tails of what the Predator I was looking at.
Yeah.
It's a special helmet, but like, weird. It's weird. And it's weird, and I don't understand it. I don't get why this isn't a dream project. And if it isn't, give it to people who would treat it like a dream project. I know at least like 20 people who do.
Look what Kyle said.
Oh, Ben Percy told me Terrificon that there will be another Predator crossover after BP. Well, I should certainly hope so. And I'm glad. And it's interesting that Ben Percy is the only one working on it. I have no problem with Ben doing it, but I'm kind of like, is this like Conan, where like there's like a legion of people who want to work on a particular thing,
right,
and Marvel's like, well, it's gonna be Jason Aaron. You know what I mean?
Nelson Furtick might be in a concrete jungle. Oh man, I love Predator. So
if it's Predator,
Kraven the Hunter versus the Predator.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Is that really what you want, or are you joking?
No, I really want that. In Manhattan.
I mean, that'd be cool. I want to see Punisher versus Predator.
Sure, but like, I just feel like,
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, listen, I
don't know who you're voting for there. Who are you rooting for?
A Kraven versus Predator? I don't care. That
That'd
would
be great. Craven versus Predator and Spider-Man stuck in the middle of it.
right. Yeah, that's the Spider. If that were the case, you do Spider-Man versus Predator, and then you make it a secret Craven story.
Yeah.
Whoever wins, we lose. But yeah, I'm in. But yeah, so well, we'll see. That would make sense for them.
Listen, guys, I'm just saying.
I know one lucky viewer of the show is like, what? Anyway, I also read Superman 17 from Joshua Williamson and Jamal Campbell. Again, another absolute power tie-in. Superman teams up with Zatanna. They take him. She takes him to the Oblivion Bar. There's a bunch of magic users there, people losing their powers.
Sure.
So all the magic users who didn't get magic wiped are hiding there, and Superman calls them all cowards and tells them that if they could help, they should. And then they all feel bad. And I'm like, fair enough, Superman.
Does Superman still have his powers?
Nope, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
So it's great. It was a really fun story.
He's still like a ripped guy, right?
Oh yeah, he punches the crap out of one of his magical opponents.
I'm just saying, not all magic users are ripped.
And then there's a last page reveal, and it's so great. I'm gonna spoil it. I want you guys to check this out though. It's so fun. It's just this moment where they're talking to somebody, and the character is like in the corner at the Oblivion Bar, and he's lighting up a smoke, and it's no.
What?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's Neron, the devil from Underworld Unleashed. And I'm
Does he have his powers?
yeah, and he's like, I'm ready to make a deal. And I'm like, oh my God, Josh, your 90s is showing Superman wearing his Kryptonian healing suit that's also really fun and awesome looking while this is happening. And he's teaming up with Neron. I'm in. I'm so delighted. Worth buying. Check it out. So fun.
Amazing.
And you know what's funny? He never gives this away to me. He never tells me like, "Oh man, I'm putting."
Well, good that he's doing you a favor.
He is. But then I text him and I'm like, "Hey!" I'm like, "Josh, come on, man."
Maybe you're the best.
I'm capable of enjoying it while also being spoiled.
No, you're not.
No, but
I know you.
Anyway, you got a chance, and I feel remiss that I didn't get a chance to read this. But Namor #2.
Yep, came out, written by Jason Aaron, with art by Paul Davidson and Alex Linz. Man, this book is fun, and I actually wish this was not a monthly. I wish this was just a graphic novel, honestly.
Oh yeah.
I think it would benefit from that for sure, because part of it was like I did not really remember what happened in the first.
Yeah,
like I remembered a lot of it, but I couldn't remember why he was on his quest. Which,
yeah,
luckily again there's like a little page at the beginning that's like, this is why he's doing it, and I'm like, cool,
thank
you so much, I appreciate that.
That context page is so helpful.
It's like the best.
DC, get it.
Get me a context page. But yeah, like listen, Namor's on like an adventure here, after being, self punishing himself essentially by staying on the surface world to pay for his crimes.
Yeah.
He has to return to the ocean in order to prevent like a big old like battle
war
for the throne,
yeah.
Right? And so like while he is like making his way through this story, we get a little background story for him as well. And what does that background story entail? It's like a series of times from his childhood.
Okay,
you can see a little child Namor, like what made him
the way they did that in the last one too, so that makes sense. It's like carrying over. We're gonna see. I mean, that's something that Jason Aaron does.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
it's a convention.
But like in like his Conan book, it was like there was like little main story stuff happening at the beginning and end, and then the bulk of the book was a past story.
Yeah,
right? And in this, it's completely interspliced throughout.
Okay,
like it's not like all or like and then the other. It's just here's some stuff, right?
Yeah.
What is fun about this is I don't know too much about Namor except for his role as like technical first mutant,
right?
His desire to sleep with Susan Storm, and
his invasion of Wakanda,
all these things. Like I'm like yep, occasional helper, but not.
Yeah, so he's an anti-hero sometimes.
He's just, and like, pompous jerk. Additionally, thanks to some dollar bins and some like, long boxes and fines in there, that he looks absolutely incredible in a suit.
Yes.
Just saying, pull those out. I was like,
yeah, thank you, John Byrne, for that.
How have you been hiding this from me?
Yeah. It's funny. Actually, on this week's episode of Back Issues, we'll find out more about that. Not that we did a Namor book, but rather that's where it came up. Was in a hopelessly 90s Marvel event that I'll bet you've never read.
Right.
Please watch it.
Yeah, please do.
I promise Batman's coming after that.
For sure. But in this, because again, like I don't know too much about him, but like, I was introduced to a character by the name of Kailani.
Oh yeah, I remember her in the. I think she was mentioned in the previous issue.
Yeah, this is just a really like solid little like intro as to why like Namor is the way he is, where it's just like Namor is pulling like a Princess Jasmine, or he's like escaping the palace, like it's Princess Jasmine / Ariel, or he's escaping the palace to go hang out with like the common folk, the peasants.
Oh
right?
sure, of course.
And he goes on all these adventures with her, and like she has a similar like upbringing to him, where he's like someone from the service dweller and like someone from under the seas, and that's where she comes from. And her dad is like a sand farmer, something like that, and he paid a lot of money for her to go to this like really important school, and she totally got kicked out of it. And she's like, very moral and like making sure to show him like, look at these kids down here. Like we bought all these apples and why to share with these kids. And, they're orphans of war because your dad, like, blah, 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 your grandfather, whoever, just blah. Sure. Right. So like, she's trying to give him a moral compass, but like, obviously there's an attraction between the two of them. Right. He's always trying to impress her and like, she's always like, not really. And, they kiss and whatever. And it's cute, right?
It's a little budding romance that, won't go anywhere.
And then late one night, a bunch of like dudes show up and like, he's like, oh my gosh, they're assassins. And like, she's among them. And the idea is that they were going to try to take the king and like show him around like all like this, like similar to what they've done to Namor or what she did to Namor. And she's like, we just wanted to like have him see what he's doing. That type of thing. But like, the dude she's with clearly have probably other ideas. Like it was her idea for that, but she also like lied to him. And this is where like Namor learns to never love anyone.
Okay, that's fair.
And he's just like, and that's where I learned that is a muscle that should be atrophied. And I'm like, oh
yeah, at least until you meet another man's wife.
Well, yeah.
From the service world.
Right. But that, like, like at the end, like at the beginning, they mentioned that, like, all these like high-born women were like paraded in front of him thinking that he would pick one as a wife, right? And then at the end, like he never wanted them, he fled from them. And at the end, like he just see them among him, but like he's like, I don't feel anything. They're just, they're here, whatever, who cares? And I was like, really dig it. Really dig this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do kind of wish this was coming out just as like, here's this graphic novel about Namor from Jason Aaron.
Yeah. I mean, it will become one.
Yes, inevitably. Additionally, her comrades in arms, like she is banished secretly.
Naturally.
He like, keeps that to him like self, but banishes her from the city. Does she return again?
Oh, I bet she does.
Yeah.
He invented her for
but
no
her
reason.
comrades in arms are like, you remember how, or how you've seen like, pirates or whatever be like, lashed to a pole at like the edge of the sea and like have the tidal come in and kill them that way, right? Unalive them. But in this it's the opposite, so they do that, but it's the tide is receding, and so it's like their take on it is as though the sea doesn't want you any longer. I'm like, cool, your Conan is showing.
Yeah, he gets it,
but I'm here for it.
Yeah, but who doesn't want?
Yeah, I like this book a lot. The two art styles fit perfectly for the different time periods. That's why there's two artists on this book. One does the past stuff, one does the current stuff. In the current stuff, he fights, I think, a Tuma.
It's not a Tuma.
No, it is, I think. Don't do that. Don't do that, because I'm pretty sure it is.
If he's blue and he's wearing some headgear, then it's a Tuma. Yeah, it's a Tuma.
It's a Tuma. And they do.
I'm afraid it's a Tuma.
They do this like fun battle that requires wine and stuff like that. It's entirely what I was looking for. If Jason Aaron's not writing Conan anymore, then I'll take him writing Namor and making me feel like a little like Conan-y about it. I like it.
I love it. That sounds great. That's
it's a good book. I'm really enjoying it, but I like Aaron writing a single character,
of course, sure. And doing like it could be it's contemporary, yet also gives you like a full little bit of a flashback.
Yeah,
makes sense to me. I read World's Finest, Batman Superman World's Finest number 30 from Mark Waid and Gleb Melnikov. Sorry. This is Mark Waid's take on the first adventure that the Trinity ever engaged in. There's a murder on Paradise Island. She brings in Superman and Batman to solve it. There's a fun little twist at the end about the murder itself. Of course, like it's a there's no murderer. Where will you find it? Blah 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 blah. It's a fun, awesome story that features highlights Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman's relationships, while also it's being scrutinized by her sisters and mother.
Does it have to do with like an icicle or something, or
no? It's just the murderer is
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Yeah, no, it's fun. But it's like it's a classic done in one. You can just enjoy it as it is. You don't need to read any of Batman Superman World's Finest in order to buy it and enjoy it as a story by itself. Also, Robin's in it. I believe it's Dick Grayson, and so Robin gets to go to the Paradise Island as well. It's fun. It's just a really, really fun story, and it totally works in every way. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Great.
Tiffany and I read Wolverine Revenge, the Red Band edition.
Yeah.
Actually, rather, we read Wolverine Revenge, and there is also a Red Band edition of this book. And while I didn't actually read the Red Band edition, I did buy the original edition or the real edition. There is a Red Band edition out there, and I got a chance to take a look at like a comparison somebody made between the regular stuff and the Red Band stuff. And I will say, if you are still if you're on the fence about whether you should get the regular edition or the Red Band edition, I say get the Red Band edition. I think you get more. And when I say more, I mean you get a more authentic version of what Capullo wants you to see. In some cases, we've seen Red Band books where it's just kind of like, oh, that's kind of like an alternate take or just an egregiously oh, it's less cropped or an alternate version of a panel. In this case, it's like this is what Greg wants to do, and I also appreciate that like this is Capullo returning to Marvel true to form. It's his book in terms of him drawing it. He's put on display everything that he's learned since his time before. When he was on DC and doing books like Reborn and stuff. Like we're getting undisputed Greg Capullo, also written by Jonathan Hickman. And you're getting two versions of these creators that I think people think they know. Like I think I know what to expect from Jonathan Hickman. Well, I don't think you do, because this book is not what I expected from Jonathan Hickman's Wolverine. And I think when you pick up a Wolverine book or any book by Greg Capullo, you're like, I think I get it. You do get it, but like you got to appreciate how much work Greg is putting into it.
Yeah,
all the dinosaur stuff, all the gore and the action. It's just very like it's just very well put together.
Some of the this like Red Band's popping up all over the place. Literally, I have a copy of.
You have a Red Band Werewolf by Night, yeah?
Because it was just that was
the one that was available. That was the only one available.
I'm gonna get. There it is.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like this is a new version of variant covers. You know what I mean? Like that's just what it feels like. It just feels like, and here are some variant covers, and I'm like,
yeah, here is the same book, but with this slight twist on it.
Right, as opposed to it being what it feels like Marvel wants to do, which they're afraid of, is like, we're talking about how like they should have like a Black Label series, except for the fact that these aren't all like this is out of continuity.
Wolverine Revenge should have been a Black Label like type book or a Marvel Max Resurrect the Line,
like a Red Band.
Yeah, just call it Wolverine Red. Hell, call it Wolverine Red Band or Wolverine Unleashed or something like that.
Marvel, like this is the Marvel Red Band.
Yeah, Marvel Red Band,
where it's like out of continuity stories, but they're not. Like Blood Hunt isn't out of continuity. Freaking World by Night is not.
But like sometimes Black Label books are in continuity, so it's like as long as you call it Marvel Red Band, you're getting like a mature reader's adult oriented book.
Yeah,
and whether that's in continuity or not will be determined by what it says or what it does.
But like with Black Label books, 9 times out of 10 they are out of continuity. So when I pick up a Black Label book, I know what I'm expecting, and what I'm expecting is something that maybe doesn't follow continuity.
Absolutely,
picking up this book,
I thought it was going to be in continuity. I think that Marvel made no attempt to let anyone know whether this was or was not in continuity.
Yeah.
You read the first page and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, this is a alternate reality. This is another version of the world I'm reading. Like, that's kind of disappointing.
Right.
And when I say disappointing, I mean, because I was looking forward to seeing Greg Capullo drawing Wolverine in the main universe. And while it is exciting to get Wolverine in his own book that's going to be self-contained, and I'm sure when they put it out, I don't know how they're going to put it out, because Lord knows how you even manage the Red Band stuff. Do you have 2 pages in the trade? Do you get a Red Band trade? I mean, knowing Marvel, it's like, no, you got to buy 2 trades. Which, of course, they're expecting you to do when they put out a Red Band book. They're like, oh, no, you buy both books.
Yeah.
That way it like doubles the sales. And it's like, bite me. I'm not going to do that. But
how did you feel about this story?
I loved it. I thought it was interesting and fun. There's a I mean, what's his name? Just did that. Tom Taylor just did that. Like, an EMP took over the world, and now everything's back to the Stone Age. What are you gonna do? And then he promptly just phoned in the last issue and left and went to DC. In this one, it's like, Magneto is it's kind of the 90s, I guess. It's like something.
Yeah.
EMP, Magneto, world's
That's all
gone
you need to
dark.
know.
Wolverine is tapped, and it's his book, so other characters are going to die unceremoniously. Okay, so it's a Wolverine book in another reality. It's an Elseworlds Wolverine story.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like I don't think that Hickman had anything to do with what happened with Colossus on Krakoa, but if he did, boy,
he does not like Colossus.
He's got an issue.
Or he's like, no, Colossus is cool when he's a bad guy or a douchebag.
I guess.
And he is. He is a douchebag. And so Wolverine, he gets tapped by Nick Fury. They go to the helicarrier. The Eastern Seaboard's gone. The Western Hemisphere is effed. They have to go to Russia because there's a special weapon. There's a MacGuffin they need to turn the lights back on. They go there. Bucky, Cap, Wolverine. Everybody dies but Wolverine. Wolverine's the coolest, the baddest, the awesomest. He gets there. He turns out a bunch of Wolverine characters are there. They're not versions like Deadpool's a bad guy again, because Hickman probably has no regard for Deadpool and was like, I like Deadpool when he was a cool action figure. So Deadpool, Omega Red, Colossus, etc. It's like, if you ever read Hulk versus Wolverine, or you ever watch Hulk versus Wolverine the movie, it's this.
I guess, yeah. It was like, here's what's weirdly like. And again, as I was reading this, I was putting together pretty early on that this must be outside of continuity, obviously. But for some reason, what kind of took me out of it was my inability to see a universe in which Deadpool didn't love Captain America.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Like, that was so foreign.
For me, it was just like Deadpool was just so you did. Hickman, for me, it read Omega Red, Colossus, and whoever you want to draw next. Like, Hickman did not care who was in the pantheon.
Sure.
So you could draw Lady Deathstrike. You could
but
draw.
He's the one that decides to put the bomb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I was kind of like,
oh, okay. Like, it
this
seems
is weird,
to be referred to.
That's a me thing. I just had a hard time getting over that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is literally a book where it's just like, what are you paying for?
You're paying for Wolverine.
You're paying to watch Greg Capullo draw Wolverine
slice and dice
stabbing thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're paying for. You want to see him fighting dinosaurs for whatever reason. Sure, here it is. You want to see him like jumping out of planes and like coming at you in like a flying V formation.
You want to see him be cooler than Captain America. Like that's what you get. Like, this book is just, it's a Wolverine wank fest.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the book's called Wolverine Revenge, which, by the way, like, he is getting revenge for the world or something. I don't know. Sabretooth is in it too. Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's a Wolverine book through and through. It's weird. I don't have any problem with it even being out of continuity. It's weird that they tried to hide it. And when I say they tried to hide it, I mean they made no attempt to tell anybody. And when I say they made no attempt to tell anybody, I mean maybe they did, but they did it in like covert ways that didn't reach my sight. Like, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, and I'm plugged in. I'm deliberately following all this crap so that I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Not that I get spoiled, just so I know like what's happening. And all I knew was that Greg Capullo was drawing it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nice to see Hickman having
fun and doing trying stuff out.
Sure. But this right now, this ain't Krakoa's Hickman.
No.
For sure. And that might really appeal to a lot of people, though.
I would hope. I mean, Marvel would certainly expect you to.
But like, trust me. So if you were like worried, like, oh no, is this going to be like that? No, this is 100% just like a 90s, early 2000s sort of like action fest.
Exactly. Which, I mean, like, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Like, I want Greg Capullo to draw whatever he wants.
Right. I mean, people still talk because that is a Hickman thing. People are going to talk to each other, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it's Wolverine saying something like, snarky.
Yeah. So it's neat. It's a good looking book. It's a lot of fun, and I dig it. I dig it very much. But the other thing is seeing the comparisons between the red band and the regular version. The red band's a little better. I think it's like, it's what Greg Capullo wants to draw more.
It makes sense for that to be the case.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
like, definitely.
Oh, and that's the other thing somebody brought up in the chat. Like, it does. I mean, any book that you get when you're like, oh, here's the main Wolverine book, and here's Jonathan Hickman and Greg Capullo doing a Wolverine book. That's the main Wolverine book. You just pooped in the other guy's cereal. So that's a shame.
Who's doing the other Wolverine book?
I don't know.
Oh.
That's how much I don't care.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I feel like think it's someone.
Yeah, I bet it is, and it's a damn shame. Jenny Sparks #1 from Tom King and Jeff Spokes. This is another one where the book came out and Tom King was trending on Twitter because people were like, "Boo!" and I'm like, "Okay, who cares? You don't care. There's no way you care about Captain Atom. There's no way you care about Jenny Sparks. There's no way you care about the Authority. There's no way you read it. There's no way you care. But you're professionally mad. But yeah, so this is this is a Black Label book that may be in continuity or not, depending on who you ask. The idea is that Jenny Sparks is a superhero hunter. She is like, when heroes go rogue or when there is a power that is too strong or too controversial for the Justice League to go deal with, they call Jenny Sparks. Of course, Jenny Sparks famously died at the end of the first volume in Authority. Spoilers. She is brought back. If you want to know more about that or why, check out my interview with Tom King. I mean, like, I could paraphrase it for you. There was this belief before 9/11 that history was over, that we had reached, how like in the Matrix, Morpheus talks about how like we'd reached a pinnacle of civilization in 1999. Yeah, that wasn't just the Wachowskis being creative. That was a prevailing opinion from like philosophers and like anthropologists at the time. It was not everyone. It was a very niche idea. But it was this concept, they called it the death of history, where it's like we're curing diseases, we're eradicating war, we're in a world of excess, and everyone's like, and a intellectual based economy, and so there's no, Caesar wept for there are no more worlds to conquer, and then 9/11 happened, and we were like, oh, never mind. And so the idea is that like 9/11 occurs. They didn't say this in this book, but that's what the conceit of this is that 9/11 happens, and it basically says that like, because we entered the 21st century in 2001, and 9/11 is a response. It was basically like the 20th century saying we're not done yet. And so Jenny Sparks reawakens as a result, and basically because she is the spirit of the living embodiment of the spirit of the 20th century. Even though we are in the 21st century, the 20th century isn't over,
right?
And we're not, and it's not done with us, and so it's not done with her. Also, Jenny's replacement was less popular than Jenny, so but yeah, and she was a more fun, well-rounded character. We all like Jenny more. So yeah, the book is what it is. Captain Atom went nuts, and he didn't explode. I saw hilarious. Somebody was posting pictures of the book online, and the funniest response I ever saw was someone saying, "Why isn't he exploding?" Like they were just. I see Captain Atom, why isn't he exploding? And I was like, that's so funny because that's all anyone knows what to do with Captain Atom is. I know that's like hyperbole, but it's just, that's every Captain Atom story is like, oh, and then something cuts his suit and he explodes. Just seems like what you do because he's too powerful. He's Dr. Manhattan. He's the inspiration for Dr. Manhattan. So he's huge. What are you going to do? Like, he's too powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's what this book is.
Kind of rushed yourself into a corner there.
Yeah, you did. So like that, but that's what there are in this, where it's like Captain Atom thinks he's like he has a problem, and he's got a god complex, and it's just, and Jenny's like, okay, well, I'll solve that. And that's the story, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's really fun wordplay where they talk about like her doing things and how she's not allowed to because she doesn't have the authority. And I'm like, that's fun.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, good stuff. Did it grab me? Not like Danger Street. It is not like.
So you know what that means?
That means
you're gonna fall off of this book. You're gonna
read the whole thing.
There's gonna be like 3 more issues that come out. You'll have Tom King on the show. Tom will be like, "You got to read it, man.
Please read my Jenny Sparks book.
I'll read it when it's out in trade, and you'll read it when it's in trade, and you'll be like, Tom, you got to come back on the show because I love this book."
Well, we don't know. I haven't finished Danger Street yet.
I'm just saying that's probably what's gonna.
We'll see. I don't want to assume that's the case, but Penguin's still a great book for some reason. So yeah, Jenny Sparks, it's fine. Like, it's fine. It didn't grab me.
Okay.
It didn't grab me, but it didn't grab me in that weird way where like Danger Street didn't grab me either.
He's putting too much into Helen of Windhorn.
They're putting a lot of work into it. And
it's amazing.
I would also argue Tom King has done like the last 5 books have been the best of his career. Like he's only getting better. Like Rorschach was incredible. Human Target is transcendental. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is perfection. Gotham City Year One is one of my favorite books that I've ever read. Like there's just so much good coming out of that man. And I haven't finished Danger Street. I read it. And I'm like, I appreciate this is great, but I just haven't sat down and read it. But yeah. So I imagine Jenny will be great. The first issue though, I'm like, okay, I see where you're going with this. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. It just all it all did was I go, why didn't Tom King just write in a fucking Authority book? Like that's what he should have done. I appreciate. Oh, Superman Up in the Sky, another fantastic, one of the top 3 best Superman stories of that I've ever read. But like, yeah, Tom King should have just done an Authority book. And by the way, like, just do that after you're done with this. Do the Authority.
Okay.
Because like, there's so many different like Tom King genre writers. You got Mark Miller, you got Grant Morrison, you got like the late Warren Ellis. There's so many different creators out there.
I got a better pitch for your Authority book.
Yeah.
Cy Spurrier.
Oh yeah, well, Cy Spurrier would be amazing. It's actually kind of fun to get like a Brit to do it, but I want the representation. I want an American to do the Authority, to put their spin on the Authority.
Okay.
But then Cy would do one, and it's just a Judge Dredd book where it's just like, hey, guess who sucks? Americans.
And I'm like, there.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody kind of suck?
But you're talking about us though. But yeah, that's fair. So yeah, I liked it, but it didn't blow my mind. I was really hoping for it to blow my mind. And I was like, no.
It didn't spark inspiration for you?
Nah. Ultimate Spider-Man #8. Of course, John Hickman, DG Chai, what the hell? Marco Cicchetto. I was just reading a DG Chai.
Marco Cicchetto's like, ow.
How dare you? No, he didn't even, don't worry. It's not like Cicchetto draws.
No, Cicchetto draws.
No, I'm sorry. Chichester doesn't draw. Yeah, Kieran Gillen doing Authority. There.
Yeah, that was my other one.
That's better.
Why is that better than Spurrier?
Because there'll be hope at the end. In Gillen's.
There could be hope in Spurrier's work.
Yeah, you got to find it in the middle.
Oh no, you got to look for it. You have to Yeah,
it doesn't end happy.
Use your brain. No, there's hope. Anyway.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man #8 came out, written by Jonathan Hickman with art by Marco Cicchetto.
That's right. Venom, baby.
Is it?
Yeah, the Picotech suit is Venom. It's coming. It's going to become the alien costume. I mean, when I say alien, I mean Picotech, artificially intelligent.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is brilliant. Like, you know what? Okay, so really quick. Secret Wars, 1984, Jim Shooter, older guy, writing the story. Secret Wars is just a B-50s movie.
Yeah.
And B-50s movies were made as kind of a little, superficially, little green men were afraid, the space race, communism, in the Picotech suit is AI. That's the great new existential threat to our way of life.
Yeah. And
encapsulating that concept in the spirit of, in the form of a friggin' alien costume. That was smart.
Yeah.
What a great idea. Also scary and terrible. And oh no. And I'm just like, every time I read this book, I'm like, oh no, the shoe's going to drop any second now.
I know. Also,
Jonah's having a too strong an effect on Peter's son, who is, of course, being neglected, which of course would happen. I don't like the idea of Jonah having too much influence over that kid.
I don't think he's having influence. And what's wrong with that?
Jonah is, a troubled man. He's a tough character.
Yeah, well, I think really what it is he is trying to let that kid know it's okay.
Yeah,
because clearly, I don't think he's being neglected. I think it's just that he's more of a loner. He's
right,
he's
but
not like his mom is an obvious extrovert, and so is his dad,
and his daughter,
So it's he seemingly is the introvert of the family, and so
yeah,
I appreciate Jonah being I see you.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
And that's why he gets him the present,
right?
Because he's just no.
Yeah, but his daughter doesn't like Jonah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? There is a
maybe because
there's a balance. Well, probably, but
he doesn't tell me I'm the best.
No, there's a moment in the book earlier where she's like, I don't like. There's something about him I don't like.
Right.
And I'm like, no. Of course, knowing Jonathan Hickman, he'll just quit not 10 issues later, and then we'll just be left with somebody else to figure it out.
Secret wolf crystal, moon crystal in his chest.
It's his son.
I know. I'm saying it's the ultimate.
That's right. His son's dead. So yeah, he's gonna have to be Man Wolf. I mean, the thing is,
maybe that's what he's doing.
All of this
he's trying to take him.
He's I'll make you my son, and then you'll be the Man Wolf.
Secret son.
Yeah. I mean, I genuinely think that it's funny. Obviously Peter's in his 30s. He felt like he hasn't been able to fulfill his reality. You could still do it all. Like, Uncle
Oh,
Ben
yeah,
could
yeah.
still die. Jonah could still hate Spider-Man and take over the Bugle. Like, Mary Jane could leave, and then Spider-Man could have like more stupid three-way relationships and stuff. Like, there's everything could still go back to the way it was,
Sure, I don't want
but
that.
it would be regressive and terrible. And I'm not saying that they would be hacks for doing it. I'm saying the fear is, oh no, he will become the Spider-Man of the main universe. And I'm not saying they're going to fold it in. I mean, metatextually, like,
Right. No, I know what you mean.
like, his life will fall into that pattern, and then he'll just be a loser.
Oh, sure. No,
I'm like, oh no.
I understand that. I'm really hoping, now that you've said that, like, reminded me of the fact that she doesn't like him. I'm like, I really hope that Jonah isn't some like secret sleeper agent
Ugh.
to help, like, keep, like, by the maker to help keep Peter down.
Mm. Yeah. Could be that, or you could work for the
No.
Kingpin or something. I mean, like,
I don't want any of those things.
I don't know. I don't want any of those things either. I like Jonah and Ben. I like their company. They were,
God, what if Jonah ends up killing Ben?
right? I don't think. And what about so Jonah and Ben have created their company. They invited Peter to join. I don't think Peter did say yes, but he did leave it open.
No, he said no, and then they're like, "I didn't hear you." It's so cute. The two of them are like, "That's
he didn't say no."
He
Yeah,
didn't say no, and they just talk with him until basically he kind of talks himself into, "I got to talk to Mary Jane about it." Like, yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah, it's great. That stuff's in there. Of course, Iron Lad shows up, and he's like, "Hey, Pete, like, are you Spider-Man? Are you big enough to be an Ultimate yet?" And then obviously we're just glaringly setting up Harry becoming like the Green Goblin, being a bad guy.
Wouldn't that be great if they didn't, though?
Oh, I know. I would love that,
he,
because
like,
that's
rises above it.
That's what I expect from the Ultimate. That's what I came to expect from Bendis' Ultimate Universe. I would like that in this.
Well, I love the way he does it too, where he's like, "You're like
you're way on the top of the list."
Yeah.
He's like, where was I on the list? You weren't on it.
I don't know who you are.
Right? Like, because I didn't read the villain list. Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, it's great because it's juicy and it's melodramatic and it's sad, and we're just fast tracking all of the bad stuff. Like, Harry needs to have his father yelling in his ear all the time, and so he makes an AI version of his father that's yelling in his ear all the time. And Peter needs to have a evil version of himself, like that's making an alien costume. There's so much in here. He also gets to fight with Iron Lad a little bit, like, just to test out the suit and stuff. Obviously, Dr. Octopus is also going to be a big problem later on.
Sure.
A lot of setup, a lot of build up. Peter doesn't join at the end. He doesn't leave with them. There's no thing. There's no call to adventure. They don't really even invite him. They're just like, come on, hurry up.
Yeah.
We only got like 7 months or whatever, 17 months.
Yeah, he goes to the birthday party. No, instead we see another team for him.
Yes.
Which I loved the revelation of the sixth member.
My God.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, that was great. No,
What?
the Sinister Six are revealed in this book. It's also great.
Yeah.
They're earned. They're fun. They're cool.
It's Martin Lee. It's Negative Man. It's Black Cat.
Yep, Mr. Negative, I should say.
Mr. Negative, sorry.
Yeah, the Black Cat Senior or whatever.
Senior, yeah.
Yep.
It's Craven.
It's Craven.
It's, who else is it?
Yeah.
Who else is it? I know who the sixth one is. Who are the other two?
Right.
Oh my goodness, I can't remember.
I don't remember.
No, I'm going to. We're gonna remember. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We can do this. I'm trying to remember what boroughs they're from, because that's like the key.
Yeah, it's Bronx, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Midtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Hang on. Chat must have it at this point.
Yeah, they probably do. Mysterio. Thank you. Yes.
And one more, right?
And somebody brought up.
Oh no, Kingpin's the other one.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mysterio, and then the Mole Man.
Oh yeah, Mole Man.
That was the one I knew.
Yeah, that one I did not know.
That one's incredible.
That was like, what?
I
was
love
like, Mole
that
Man
so much. Like, there's a secret sixth, borough.
Yeah, it's the underground.
And he's just like, hey,
me. And I'm like, I've never seen Spider-Man fight Mole Man before in my life. What a great idea. What a great idea.
Just so great. Yeah.
Good use of him.
Mysterio is interesting too. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Because A, no one's ever seen who it is. And B, who is it? Because Craven asked.
Yeah.
And was like, weren't you taller last time?
And then he grows.
He's like, Foop. I'm like,
that was interesting. Somebody didn't get it. I saw that on Reddit. Somebody was like, what happened with the art? And I was like, they're showing you that he changed his dimensions.
Yeah.
Anyway, fun stuff. Great book.
The Underminer.
This
is a phenomenal book.
Really. Oh, and Chichetto, of course, shines. Great stuff.
Yeah. I really like his Mary Jane.
Yeah, me too.
I like her a lot.
Yeah. Her hair is always in a perpetual state of motion.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't know who it is. We don't know which Mysterio it is. I hope it's 616 Mysterio piloting another friggin' alternate reality suit, but I don't think so. I think it's gonna be somebody we care about. But yeah, before we get into the recommendations, we obviously have to read our super chats for the sponsors of today's show
and talk about our book of the week.
And our book of the week. That's right. What's our book of the week?
I think it's Ultimate Spider-Man for me. Yeah, I really like that.
I had more. I think I have to give it to Ultimate Spider-Man. It was a really great read. It was a lot of fun.
Not Wolverine.
Wolverine was fine. Again, no, the issues with the red bands and the way
World's
I'm like,
Finest?
Yeah, World's Finest was great and fun, but no, I think I got to give it to Ultimate Spider-Man.
Excellent.
Because I feel a lot when I'm reading Ultimate Spider-Man. It's a lot of concern and a lot of anxiety, but I'm still down. I'm down to experience it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Yeah, let's all give it to Ultimate Spider-Man. Josh Rowland, happy to make a live show. Wolverine Revenge and Ultimate Spider-Man are my books of the week, but Superman was great for a tie-in. Campbell rules. I agree. Great stuff. Cora Valentine, ComicPop Woo, thank you very much.
Well, thank you so
Red
much.
Spider-Man Ray #1 in sales recommendation. I guess I'm picking up 2. Thanks, I guess. That's what I want. I want you to be like, why did I like this? Oh no. I want that kind of effect. Yeah, thank you. Keith Gardek, thank you very much for your generosity. Coming in late, but I want to say the ComicPop crew are the greatest thing to come out of New Jersey in at least the last 200 years.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
That's right. We're from New Jersey, and you're not.
Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it, man. Hulkzilla, happy Monday, everyone. I appreciate the 4-person on the couch episode. It's always fun, and I applaud the willpower to endure being sardines in a jar. Thanks, man.
That was an episode where we, after hearing that conversation whilst I was editing it and then seeing it, I was like, is it time for a new couch just in general?
Right.
Like, is it time to retire the back issues couch and get a slightly larger one?
Right. I think it might be. I don't know.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute.
But I'm like afraid too. It's like a character in and of itself.
Yeah. And then what do we do with the old couch? You know what I mean?
Don't
Do we
know.
auction it off? Do we throw it away? I don't know. I'm interested to find out. So yeah, let us know, folks. Let us know in the in the comments. I actually have the ability to do a poll right now, so let's do it.
Wow.
New couch, keep the old. So let us know. The back issues couch. What should we do? And there we go. Now it's in the chat, so now you can vote while we talk.
Wow.
But yeah, Cat Lawyer will defend for treats. I wish DC released things with context, and also wish people would stop getting riled up without context. Let's not plant our flags before seeing the land. Good call, 100%. Man. Good call. 100%. Well said. The Gray Initiate, I just set up a pull list in my local comic store for the first time in 6 years. That's all that's on it right now are Helen and Windhorn and Alien versus Avengers, since they're so similar. Dude, I don't blame you. That's a great list, because you won't be like, oh man, oh no, I got another copy of Helen and Windhorn.
And don't forget to add the new Terminator book that's coming out from Dynamite.
That's true. Yeah, I am doing a backup in the upcoming Dynamite series for Terminator. I'm going to talk to John Suntress over at Word Balloon at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight to plug it some more, but the final order cutoff is 9/16. So before the 16th, if you could pre-order at your comic book store, that'd be great. But it's you're under no obligation to do so. But check that out. Thank you. Adam Walls, thank you very much for your generosity. I have a difficult question, including having to put my little dog Maggie to sleep a week ago. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's a real shame, and it's never easy. I'm really sorry to hear that. Sal, watching you succeed has brought me joy, and I want to thank you for that. Thank you, Adam, for being here and for being with us and for sharing that with us. I'm sorry to hear about your friend, but listen, there's nothing else you can do in those situations.
No, I've heard it I said it a better worded fashion, but the idea of you taking on their pain in that way.
That's right.
Because it's going to hurt you to have to do that, but it can possibly be the best thing you did.
It's true.
It's the most compassionate at times, but it's so hard.
Yeah, it's really hard.
So sorry.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Me too. Cat Lawyer, shout out to Ultraman Avengers for being rad. Marvel has done a great job with Ultraman so far, especially with how consistently good the art has been. See, that's interesting. I've seen it. It's never appealed to me. I'm not picking up that book, but I've seen how Ultraman has continued to be a consistently well-regarded series, and that Marvel's been handling it well. And I'm like, how is that possible?
Right.
Doc, should the Trinity backup be made into cartoon or have its own miniseries? The three of them together are a fun read. We need more of that. I think a cartoon. I think it'd be a great idea. King of New York, ComicPop woo to you as well.
Well, woo to you.
Had a blast watching the 3-hour back issues on Doomsday Clock. Have your guys' thoughts on it changed now that it's been almost 5 years? No. And the thousands of issues or copies of Doomsday Clock random issues throughout dollar bins I've seen in those 5 years has not also changed that opinion as well. Typical Spider, thank you very much for your generosity. Hi guys, it's pretty awesome that we have 2 events going on at the same time for Marvel and DC, and they're both great. And even more surprisingly, that they both have some great tie-ins. I'm excited for Dark Crisis on the couch, by the way. Me too. And I want to build to it. I don't want to just jump to it, but I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, me too, man. I can't believe it. It's amazing. It's an amazing time we live in. Bruce Cartilage started watching when I was in high school, and now I'm about to enter my last year of university studying screenwriting. Congratulations to you, man. That's awesome. And thank you very much for your generosity. And you've been here all the way, so thank you. Long live Torben Ray. And also famed villain, the Jizzler. Thank you very much for remembering that. And thank you, Bruce. Congratulations to you, and best of luck to you, man.
I love it.
Z-Berm, sound curious where you rank Alien Romulus among the Alien sequels and prequels? It is the 3rd best Alien movie that they've made.
Yeah.
That's all I could say about that. Glassman, a new year of college starts next week. One of my classes is a writing for comic books class with Paul Levitz as a professor. I am truly blessed.
Wow.
That's dope, man. Paul Levitz is
dope.
a font of information. Is a very well qualified creator to be teaching that class. Good luck to you, and have a fantastic time. Take risks, try things, ask questions. Ask Paul Levitz 1,000 questions about how the industry works, how to best service your stories, and asking questions that you would want to know from an editor. I think he's gonna help you. Super Cami Dende, is Garth Kirby on digital or no? You on Terminator makes me curious of your old work. Much love. No, it used to be, but we actually had it published through Comixology Submits program, but it is not available there anymore. But I think you can find it. I think there's a link I put someplace. If you can join our Discord, I'll try to put a link in there. But if not, it's out there. It's actually not, because I actually hit a bunch of pirating sites and asked them not to have it up there, so it's really hard to find. But yeah, if ever we do well, you'll see more of my work again. Taylor Gallagher, any thoughts on Marvel Max being revived for that Get Fury book that's been coming out? I don't think so. Marvel hates imprints, but I hope they do. I think Wolverine Revenge is a proof of that. Cat Lawyer, what if the MCU symbiote is a nanotech everyone uses? Yeah, that'd be fine. I like that idea that their stupid nanotech actually bites them in the ass. Armed Armadillo, do more. Oh.
Do more.
Thank you, Armed Armadillo and Tiffany, for that. Nikki T, got my hardcover of Superman Woman tomorrow a few weeks ago. Gorgeous art, great cover, awesome story. King is a little hit or miss, but this is a hit. I agree.
100%.
I agree. Mordecai, I found a copy of one of the Mexico original published Spider-Man books where Gwen never died, reprint and comics translated. Crazy to find to kick off the week. That's great. Nice. I heard about that. That's awesome, man. Nice find. A Secret Boss, ComicPop, woo. Thank you. Kingsport Cow, like that Batman logo. The back issues couch should change. All right, fair enough. Dominic Minaj, what are both of your favorite comic book movies? Personally, mine are Watchmen and The Losers. Nice picks. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite. I have so many that I just love or throw on, but I do. This isn't necessarily my favorite, but it's kind of a cop-out answer. But I think Iron Man might be the perfect comic book movie. I think Iron Man is a perfect comic book movie.
What's my favorite? Yeah, Iron Man's it's a pretty good pull.
Right?
Pretty good pick.
Yeah. And I loved the Batman. I mean, I like a lot of them. I like most of them.
Yeah, but it has to be a comic book movie, right? Because it's and specifically a movie that represents the comic, right? Because it's I weirdly really enjoy. I'm going to call it by the Americanized version of it, but I really weirdly enjoy Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes, the Keanu Reeves movie.
But that ain't Hellblazer.
No, that's a movie that's pronounced Constantine.
That's Constantine. That is not Constantine. That is the American bastardized version of that. Much like Dredd is not Judge Dredd. It's not in that spirit, right? It's an incredible action movie, but it's really not the spirit of the original.
Yeah.
Stuff. So I can't even say that. I can't say either of those, even though I enjoy the movies, but they're not really representative of their properties.
Exactly. Drew Pittman, ever been to Dragon Con? What are your thoughts on it? I've never been. I've heard great things, and usually it falls in a weird time when I can't go, and I don't know it well enough to risk, airfare and lodgings and stuff like that. I've never been invited, so that's another thing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have any opinion about it.
I've heard it's the costume is rather incredible.
Yeah, I've
And
heard.
I would love to see them to go just for that.
Yeah, I've also heard it's like a cosplay first kind of convention,
which is fine.
which is great.
Totally
Yeah, no,
great.
but it would be lost on me. Not that I don't appreciate it, but it's like once I look at everybody, then what do I do?
Yeah.
But yeah, and we should also mention that we want to thank you so much. Let's get into our comic book recommendations.
Yeah. Hi. Do you want me to go first? I actually have all mine pulled.
Oh, great.
Is
Let's do
there
it.
like a ridiculous amount of books coming out?
Yes.
This week.
Yes.
Like this is weird. This is the end of the month,
Mhm.
right? And like everything's coming out like to the point where I'm just like, there's no way I can read all these books.
No.
Right? Because Ultimate X-Men number 6 is coming out.
Hooray.
Saga number 68 is coming out.
Yep.
Flash number 12 is coming out. X-Force number 2 is coming out. If you're reading X-Men, number 3 is coming out as
Oh my
well.
God.
I might be dropping that book this week though.
Yay.
Because of how many other books are coming out.
Mhm.
Zatanna Bring Down the House number 3 is coming out.
Yeah.
I think.
Mhm.
Am I right about? I'm just double checking.
I think so.
Wait, no, maybe it's not. Wait, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm on the wrong thing. No, never mind.
Nope, it's there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Dang, I was really hopeful that I was getting away with
I
not
know.
having to read all of this, but
Mhm.
because I want to read all of this. Hellblazer Dead in America number 8 is coming out.
Hooray.
Phases of the Moon Knight number 1.
Oh, that's what they're calling it.
Right?
Okay.
But this is like not by Erica
McKay.
Schultz.
Oh.
So it's up to you. What how you feeling about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Interesting.
You know, might check it out, might not. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But might be worth it. For some reason, I thought this book was over.
No.
But Batman Off-World is coming back.
It didn't end.
Number 5.
I love this book, so I'm thrilled.
Jason Aaron on this one, writing that weird Batman story, which I completely forgot existed until I saw it coming out.
So here for it. I love that book.
I'm probably not going to read this book, but I wanted to give it a shout out because I know a lot of our chat really enjoyed Silver Coin. Remember that series
I
image
do,
that
of
came
course,
out?
yeah.
Michael Walsh is going to be involved with a book from Skybound/Image about Universal Monsters,
Okay.
called Frankenstein.
All right.
So for my Michael Walsh fans, I just wanted to put that on your radar as something maybe you'd be interested in.
Yeah.
If you're reading Distillery, White Boat number 2 is coming out. I believe that's the Scott Snyder Francavilla book.
Nice.
So that might be up your alley for sure. Obviously, I won't be able to get a chance to read that because I like to read those physical.
Mhm.
And then The Hunger and the Dust book 2, number 2 is coming out.
Yay!
That's from IDW and G.Will Ellison and Chris Wildgoose. Freaking love that book.
I know.
So much. And then I want to give a quick shout out. There is a reprinting going on of a Boom book. It's Once and Future, Pen and Ink number 1.
Oh no.
Which is like kind of sad because I love the colors of that book.
Yeah.
But I also really think it's cool to see Dan Mora's work.
Yes.
Just black and white.
Yeah.
Kind of neat. So if you're a fan of that book, you can check that out too. It's a heavy week, folks.
It is. Hey, speaking of Once and Future, you got a copy of the large edition of Once and Future.
Dude, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, I'm recommending obviously Captain America number 12 from Babylon 5 creator J. Michael Straczynski. I'm gonna see where this all wraps up. It's still going, by the way. Batman Dark Age number 5. Finally, I love this book. Mark Russell, Mike Allred. This is definitely a crazy book that's worth buying. I have to see what Steve Fox is doing with this book. Chasm. Curse of Cain number 1, Battle of the Clones. Cain's back and he's fighting Chasm. Fart. And Ron Mars and many others are working on this 0 Hour 30th anniversary special that's dropping. It's been 30 years since the 10-year anniversary of Crisis on Infinite Earths. And so they made a horrible crisis crossover thingy. I'm going to read that, I guess. We'll see how that goes. And the most anticipated book of the year, Aliens versus Avengers number 1 from Jonathan Hickman and Assad Ribic. What?
Just what?
I can't believe it. Hooray. Typical Spider in the super chats also mentioned the Superman Christopher Reeve story trailer came out today too. It's under the DC Studios banner and it looks beautiful. Made me cry. Please react to it. You will believe a man can cry. That's an amazing line. Good stuff. I love it. Thank you so much. And yeah, you should check that out. Jake Stanley, Tiff, are you excited about We Called Them Giants?
Yes.
We've talked about this before.
Yep, I absolutely am. In fact, that's what I thought the other book he has coming out, like Gillen has coming out right now, was initially. And then I remembered, no, it wasn't, because I saw the huge poster for it at San Diego. But yeah, of course, I am very excited for that. Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans meeting up again.
Hooray!
You can't go wrong.
No.
You can't go wrong. So good.
You can't. Thank you to our super chatters for sponsoring today's show.
Yeah.
And thank you to our chat for being cool and respectful and awesome in the comments and chat. By the way, you should also check out Tiffany on youtube.com/ComicPop Plays, or at ComicPop Plays, I should say.
Heck yeah.
And on twitch.tv/ComicPop. You simultaneously stream on both, so you can check out Tiffany playing video games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays typically.
Yes.
Do you know what you're playing?
That's a great question. Last week we did something hilarious, and I hope you have a chance to go check it out, where you got to find out how not great I am at rhythm games, in particular playing a trombone and also managing a supermarket. We do need to get into something. I know there's going to be a new Star Wars game coming out very shortly.
Yes.
So I kind of don't want to go down too far of a rabbit hole, but additionally, before the new remake of Silent Hill 2, I want to do another replay of that live at some point. So I'm really not sure what we're playing right now. I think it's going to be an interim game. I just got into Core Keepers.
Okay.
They did like a free weekend thing. Freaking love that.
Yeah.
So much fun. I had so much fun playing that with Danielle.
That's dope.
So anyway.
Yeah. I'm trying to see the results of our poll, but it's not working on my desktop.
That's fine.
So I'm just going to pull it up here.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, it's very impressive.
Oh,
Thank you.
It's so
ad.
impressive. You had an ad. I love that.
Oh, I
ad.
love ads. You know I do.
I know you love ads.
Here we go. Let's see. As far as our votes for new and old, the keep the old vote right now is at 24%. New couch is at 76%. Looks like it might be time for a change.
I am shook. I think you need to put that on the main channel too.
I will. We'll see. We're going to offset it by this this small sample size. See the effect.
Color. That'd be so hard to find.
There's no way we can't do that. No. The reason, by the way, to do it is to get a bigger couch. That would it would actually, if we were to get it, we're looking at the set right now. If we were to get a bigger couch, it would actually throw off the entire set. We'd have to make a new set for back issues. We need new shelves.
About having like the 3. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It'd be interesting. Now, here's my question. This is another poll. Rather than get a new couch, 2 sets, regular back issues, and then like back issues XL or something like that, where it's like more people, like a bigger kind of show. Because I've always thought
back issues unlimited.
Back issues unlimited. Yeah, where it's like, because I thought about adding, like, rather than a couch, it's more like a table with chairs. Similar set to back issues, though.
Yeah.
Giant size back issues. I like that one too.
Ooh,
but yeah, I don't know.
That too.
Yeah, giant size back issues. Yeah. But anyway, that's a thought. But I want to thank everybody for being here, and thank you to Tiffany for co-hosting this show and making it that much better. And we'll see you guys next time with another episode. Of course, there's more here. If you missed it, we actually had a 25-minute long tangent that was in our X-Men Star Trek crossover episode of Back Issues on the main channel. I thought, you know what? That's big enough. That's its own kind of podcast. It was dropped here on this channel over the weekend. Check that out if you like Star Trek, or if you just like watching us gab. It also showcased a lot more Jason in that one.
Oh yeah.
So you get a lot more about who Jason is as a person in that one.
Hopefully you enjoy those types of things, because we had another one of those tangent things.
We did. We had a 45-minute long tangent from our 3-hour and 20-minute long episode of Back Issues that we shot last week. That was an episode that's massive, not a classic book. It's rather a much more contemporary book, and that I think you'll be surprised to see. It was 3 hours and 20 minutes. It was a 40-minute plus tangent that had nothing to do with the book or the subject.
Yep.
That I cut out, and it'll be its own video that'll probably drop on this episode. The episode on this channel, the episode of Back Issues that we have, it's done. It's up. It'll be on Patreon on Wednesday. When we drop this week's episode, it'll be available for patrons to watch, because I got it done ahead of time. It is an hour and 58 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
I cut out 60 plus minutes of that show.
Fair. That's very fair. And the tangent that is cut out of that episode has nothing to do with that episode.
So don't worry, it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't work.
It is completely comic book themed, but it has nothing to do with that episode, so it shouldn't be in there anyway.
Yeah, no. But it was a great one. And it actually, when we were having that conversation, I actually thought I'll throw away the book and we'll just make the back issues kind of like an older episode of back issues where we just talk about the industry.
Yeah.
You know, like we did an episode in our very early days over 10 years ago of like Wizard Magazine, or we did an episode of back issues that was about the DC and then the Marvel movie lineups. So yeah, or one about the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, we were trying things out. So I was thinking maybe we might do that, but
it worked.
But it worked out. We still managed to shoot 3 hours of show. But anyway, we want to thank you so much for being here. We'll see you guys next time. And of course, if you want to see more of me talking, you'll see me in 10 minutes over on Word Balloon.
I know.
The link.
Have dinner.
I know. The link is actually pinned to this chat right now, so you can just zip over there, and we'll see you there.
Endless
Sow. But we'll see you guys next time. Jake Stanley, we need a feature length back issues. They're all feature length, man. They're all over 90 minutes long usually.
Yeah, but that's like old feature length is over 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Those movies are way longer than
they
that.
shouldn't be. And thank you all for being here and for your support. We'll see you guys later. So long, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.